Hello and welcome to Martyn Lucas Investors channel. My name is Sensei Crypto and today we're going to be doing the Sunday show where we look at charts, stocks, shares, cryptos, looking at potential resistance and support levels. Anything I say during this show should not be taken as financial advice. I'm only here to show you some charts. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Let's get straight into it. If you haven't already, please do hit the like button, and if you haven't subscribed, please do that as well. So let's start off with Microstrategy, Michael Saylor's company. It had a great day on Friday. You can see it. It was up about 16% on Friday, which is great. Let me just refresh this chart. For some reason, it's being weird. Yes, here we go. So yeah, MicroStrategy was up 16%, which is great. It's a breakout of the range highs. You can see it's broken up all-time highs, and it looks like it's a breakout. So it's in price discovery. This was all because of this press release saying we can look into it. Michael Saylor reveals MicroStrategy's endgame is to be the leading Bitcoin bank with 100 to 150 billion in Bitcoin holdings. Michael Saylor has an ambition to turn MicroStrategy into the top Bitcoin bank. You can call it a Bitcoin finance company, he says. MicroStrategy recently acquired 7,420 Bitcoin, increasing its holdings to 252,000 Bitcoins worth 15 billion. So he wants to sort of 10x that sort of holding, whether that's in the gains of Bitcoin or buying more. I'm sure it's a bit of both. This makes the company the largest Bitcoin holder globally. Michael Saylor, who started Strategy in 1989, sees Bitcoin as a potent hedge against inflation and an exceptional tool for long-term value preservation. He anticipates that Bitcoin volatility will draw investors seeking high returns and will become indispensable for institutions and retail portfolios over the long term. If we end up with 20 billion of converts, 20 billion of preferred stock, 10 billion of debt, and say 50 billion of some kind of debt instrument and structures instrument, we'll have 100 to 150 billion of Bitcoin, says Michael Saylor. Peter Schiff, this is the gold guy who hates Bitcoin, says Peter Schiff encourages MicroStrategy founder Michael Saylor to borrow another 4.3 billion to buy Bitcoin that US plans to sell. Once in a while the government does something smart. So he's saying it's smart that the US government is going to be selling its Bitcoin holdings. That was from they still have Bitcoin holdings from when I forgot what the firm was, but there was a fraudulent firm, and they confiscated their assets. So why does this matter? Saylor projects that by 2045 Bitcoin will constitute 7% of the global financial capital. This suggests 13 million per Bitcoin. So that's what he's saying, that he's projecting in 2045 that Bitcoin will be 13 million a coin. So that's interesting. MicroStrategy is at all-time highs at $212. It broke out on Friday. We can move on to some other stocks and crypto. We can have a quick look at Bitcoin. While everyone tunes into the show, please do leave a like on your way in and let me know what you want to have a look at. There is a slight issue with this chart. We'll try and get it up over here. See if this works better. Yes, this looks a bit better. So Bitcoin is at 62,600. It's still in this range. Once we break out of 70,000, we look like we can be going much higher. But right now we are range bound.
Thomas Morrow donated £9.99 through a super chat. Hi Sensei, could give me buy and sell points for Go and BLBD, thanks.
Thank you, Thomas Morrow. This is your first super chat. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you for tuning into the show, and thank you for the £10 super chat. We'll be looking at that straight away. So we'll stop our analysis and we'll go straight to Avgo. Broadcom. And you want to look at buy and sell points. So again, I would like to stress that I'm not saying to buy these stocks at these levels or sell them at these levels I'm about to give. This is just my own opinion based on chart support and resistance. But yes, we can have a look at it. So Avgo is looking very strong. It's basically all-time highs. It's in a very nice uptrend. Market capitalization is 847 billion, so it's a major stock. If we look at it on the weekly time frame, it's a very nice growth stock. Does it have a dividend? It does, 1.17. So it looks like a great stock for holding. It's only showed higher highs and higher lows, so you can see it's a good stock. Now we're looking at buy points and sell points. So we can go back to the daily chart, and we can have a look at some levels. So firstly, I'll be taking my Fibonacci from the previous high to the low of this structure here, and we've got our first sell level. This is where I expect this stock to go if it regains the previous all-time high at $184. We get back above $184, get back above $186. Basically, those levels represent the previous highs, all-time highs, because we should be holding that to continue this uptrend, and also this where we pushed up past all-time highs last week. If we regain those zones, then I expect this stock to go up to $218 in the next move. And in terms of the next buy zone for this stock, we've got a couple. We've got the 786, which is at $172. We've got the 50% retrace of this structure, which would take us down to $156. And then we've got the 236, which is at $141. If you can see, these points also line up with horizontal resistance, for example the previous all-time highs, this area where we had a sell-off, and if we're looking at these lows coming up, it could be somewhere along here. So that's a buy zone at $142. We've got this buy zone at $156, which was the 50% retrace of the Fibonacci level, which also corresponds to this low here. So we've got those buy levels. If you really want to get into the stock and you haven't got in already, then $172. But the main ones will be $156, $141, and if a broader crash occurs within the market, then you're looking between $113 and $119. Unlikely it will go to that level, but if it does, I always like to have money on the side to buy these lower levels here. But just be very cautious. If we break $100, then you've got major support between $80 and $90 as well. Again, very unlikely we go between $70 and $90. However, if a broader market crash comes, that can occur. We've got quite a few buy zones. I'll go through them again. The lowest point is $78, $90. So that's that can be one buy zone there. You can buy in the middle around $90 or $80. That can be one buy zone. Another buy zone could be $113 to $119. That can be another buy zone. You can leave 20%, 10% for this level over here. You can leave 20% for this level over here. $141, you can put in maybe 30% of your capital, 20% of your capital, $156, and another 10% of your capital at $172. Those will be the buy zone. Sell level is $218. Beyond $218, we can try and find another Fibonacci point. I don't think it's going to be very accurate. Again, those Fibonacci points do link. Let's see over here, from this high to this low. As you can see, we hit our 1618, which was our take profit. So those two line up there. Another sell level, I think the main sell level is at $118. We have to see how the price reacts when we get to that level, but that sell level, sort of the short medium term, is another 20% move to the upside, and I think that's a nice area to be taking profits. So yeah, $218 is the main sell zone. If we get there straight away, then you won't have access to these buy zones. You might just have this one as $172. We might dip down to before 218, but $218 is the main resistance we can see in this stock. We can zoom out to the weekly time. On the daily time frame, the RSI isn't overbought, so they can continue moving up. On the weekly time frame, the RSI is also not overbought. So that's good. Trying to see if there's any other patterns. No, the MACD is turning green on this indicator here, which shows the momentum is going to the upside. So yeah, those are your main buy and sell levels for Avgo Broadcom. So let's look at your next one, BLBD, Bluebird Corporation. Haven't looked at this stock before. Hasn't been around for all that long either. IPO'd around $10. So let's do a full analysis. That's IPO price, all-time lows, first sort of buy zone. Do we have a trend line to the upside? Maybe something like that. Okay, we can move to the daily time frame. Weekly time frame was not overbought. Daily time frame was oversold recently, but we do have a gap to close. So we've got our first buy zone where that gap needs to be closed. And when I say a gap be closed, you see here there was back in May, price shot up, creating a gap. In the stock market, about 90% of these gaps normally get filled. So we are waiting to get back down to 37. Excuse me. We're looking to get down to $37.50 to close that gap. So that's our first buy zone. First level of support. We are trending to the downside slightly in this structure, so I don't think we're just going to take off from these levels we're at now. But again, your sell level would probably be at $54 and at all-time highs. Take a Fibonacci from the previous highs to the low all-time highs. I think that was. Yeah, was it? Yeah, that was previous all-time highs to all-time lows. Let's get that accurate. We're looking. That's why there's been some support at this level, because it's a 1618. We have seen some support, so maybe this can hold as support. But as soon as this level breaks, you're looking to come down to $37. 2618 is there. Okay. So let's look at this again. Okay, so for Bluebird Corporation, zoom out a little bit and look at maybe a 3-day this time. So you IPO'd at $10, you went to your all-time highs at $28, you came back down. We took a Fibonacci from those highs of 29 to the all-time lows of $7.75. You've been on an uptrend since. You've broken out of this range, which is good. And that's why you had this move to the upside, because the range was broken. As soon as that range was broken, you moved up about you doubled your price in less than half a year, so that's good. And now you're consolidating. You are at some level of support. This is from that main Fibonacci. So if you break $42, you're coming down to $37. So you are sort of at a buy zone here. But when you look at the daily, you do have a gap fill, which 90% of the time does get filled. It doesn't mean it needs to get filled this time round. It can go back to all-time highs, break all-time highs, and then come back to this level. So that's not a sure thing that we're coming down to $37 before we hit all-time highs, for example. We can hit all-time highs and then come back to $37. And the way I would personally look at this is, if we hold this $42 level, this $40 level, $41 level, then we're going to $54, which is our take profit level, our sell zone. If we don't hold $42, then it's very, if we come back down, close below the $42 level, we're looking to come down to $37, which is our next buy zone. And beyond that, if we break $37, you're looking at a buy zone of $27. So I'll keep some money on the side for $27. That's two trend lines and a horizontal trend line coming together for a buy zone there. Bad news, for example, comes out in this company, if earnings go badly or if the broader stock market comes down, then you're looking at maybe $30. You're looking at $37 as in the next buy zone, $42 as your level of support at the moment. Sell zone is looking at $54, maybe just a bit below. Everyone will take profits there, so maybe $53. Then you're looking at $59 and then $63 for your sell zones. How do I think this is going to go? I think we'll probably have maybe a push up to $54. If we don't get all the way there, then you can be looking at maybe getting to the 50% point, which is at about $50. Might also be, we might get something like this occur where we push up to $50 and then we come back down. So $50 is also a sell zone, depending on how quickly you want to get out these, what gains are good for you and how quickly you want to get out of the stock. But that'll be a 14% move to the upside to $50. The main take profit is 21% up, the all-time highs is 34% up, and the next beyond that all-time highs is the 44% to the upside. The next buy zone is I guess 5% move to the downside. The next main one is 15%, and if we do get a broader crash, then we're looking at 40% to the downside. I always like to have limit orders on the way down and limit orders to sell on the way up. So that is Bluebird Corporation. Thank you very much for the super chats. Let's look at your comments. If you haven't already, please do hit the like button. I think it's a quiet show today, 26 people watching. Long weekends are so boring, can't wait for weekend trading, says Rick McGrath. That's why crypto is good, it's 24/7. Always good to have a break though. Is it possible to review IBM? Yes, we can have a quick look at IBM. Of course, if you'd give a super chat, we look at it straight away and we do a deeper analysis, but I can have a quick look at IBM. IBM, well, you can look at that. It's gone past our take profit zone. We hit the take profit zone, tested its support, and it's continuing to go up. So you've hit the take profit, and you're looking at your next one, which is $255. You are overbought, so this can turn around at any time, but right now, because it's green days after green days, the momentum is the upside, and you can stay overbought for a while. As soon as you get a couple red days, then that momentum can stop, and then you can come all the way back down. However, right now it looks like we might be heading to the next sell level at $255. Something else I would like to do over these next weeks and months is create a nice stock portfolio. Just having a look at some of your suggestions and creating a pie or maybe trading 2-on-2. I know I don't know if James is in. He likes his trading. I think it was James where you created your trading 2-on-2 pie. Well, I'd like to do something similar. Just get your thoughts on some stocks. Pick maybe the undervalued ones. Obviously, have the bigger ones as well. But looking at building we can create a watch list on here and look at a specific stock portfolio, more of a growth, higher risk one, but I think that would be fun. We can track that all together and invest some money into it. Personally, myself, I wouldn't be telling anyone to invest in anything, but that would be good fun. So let me know what you think should be what should definitely be in a in that stock portfolio. I do have a watch list on the right side here. If you look over here just below my face, these are some of the stocks that we track. But for example, we track something like FFIE, but I would never invest in FFIE personally unless it's a trade. But we're looking at a long-term, medium long-term stock portfolio. So yeah, we can create that. That would be fun as well. Let's have a look at your comments and see the next suggestion. Vaz is here, late to party again. You're always late, Vaz. It's not good, is it? Bart says, hi all. NVIDIA, yes, we'll be looking at NVIDIA. We can look at that next, Doug. Please hit the like button, says James. Good evening, Development Alert. Development Alert Uligander is here. Welcome into the show. Good to know. I've been a bit tough. It's been a bit tough, but we're fine and working hard to make things better. That's great to hear. Zach, keep up the good work. Development Alert, sending positive energy. What do you think about NVIDIA on Monday? We're looking at NVIDIA soon. James, the pie maker. Can we look at the S&P 500 just because? Yes, of course. That's, we're just going to quickly look at NVIDIA. Actually, I don't think a member suggested NVIDIA, so we can look at the S&P 500. SPX. The S&P 500, look at that. Continuing to move up. At what point did I say I wouldn't buy any more? It was probably around these levels, so it's gone up about another 5% since I said I wouldn't buy at these levels. So it is interesting. Again, obviously, there was this crash here where it was down 10%. That was a bit good buy zone. That was back in the range. That was at the heart line. So at that point, yes, I did buy. So I guess on that level, we're up 13%. But it is continuing to go up, and you can see this blue trend line here. If we broke that, we're going to continue going up, and since that breakout, that trade, that's also up about 3.4%. So yeah, still making money, even though I don't want to be holding the stock. It would be silly not to, because it's such a bullish chart. I'll just be very cautious that you are taking profits and securing some of those profits if you do need that money, let's say within the next 5 years. But yes, so S&P 500 looking good. Where's the next target? I mean, you can go all the way up to 6,000. Maybe 6,000 is the level where it turns around, but 6,000 does seem like a and for other people that trade different stocks, that is basically a move of another 3.5% to the upside. Look at the broader Fibonacci. Yeah, we've broken out of that. So yeah, you are at very high levels, so it's a very nice area to be taking profits. But again, S&P 500, you can be holding this for years and years, and I don't think it's ever lost money over the 5 years, I think it is. Or is it 10 years? Where's the biggest sideways movement? Maybe here. No, that's a year. Let's look at the monthly. Maybe here. 4,871 days. 4,871 days. 4,871 days in years. Okay, so that was 13 years it went sideways. So I guess if you need the money within 13 years, as you can see between 2000 and 2013, I could have looked at it like that. It never broke out of its highs, so there have been points where it's gone sideways for a while, and that's why I say there might be better things out there. It would be very annoying if your money's not being put to work for 13 years just sideways. So that's always something to be cautious of. And just remember that came out of years and years of it going up, and that's what we're sort of in now. That was a 2000 crash, then it was a 2008 crash. Okay, so that's the S&P 500, a little bit of leg room left in it. Still looking bullish, but be very careful that it's not normal for the S&P 500 to go up every day, every year. It's actually, we're in a weird situation where it's been going up non-stop for the last few years, so at some point it can go sideways for 13 years. What do you think about NVIDIA on Monday? We can have a look at NVIDIA soon. Can you check the S&P 500? Yes. Are we still within the trend line, or are we in a new trend line now? Oh, Vaz, thanks for asking that question. So the trend line, sort of the bull market trend line. Let me show you that again. Let's go on the 3-day maybe. So this, obviously bear market, then you've got this parallel channel to the upside. So we are actually outside of the parallel channel, we're outside of it, which just basically means, yes, it's very bullish, but it's the point where it's sort of overbought within the channel because it's on the upside of the channel. The reason I bought when it dropped 10% was because it was in the heart line of the channel, and you can see to the absolute T, it hit the heart line, which is the middle between these two parallel channels, and that's a very nice place to be buying, especially if you're bullish, because that's the bullish side of the parallel channel, the upside of the parallel channel. At this point, it's not a buy zone. I guess it's in a new trend, but I am going to keep this trend. We can keep extending it, because as long as it's within this trend, you're making higher highs and higher lows. In sort of the more of the medium term, meaning we're still in a bull market. If we dropped below this trend line, then it's more concerning. But it doesn't automatically mean we're in a bear market. For example, it can drop below this trend line and come back to this very, very strong support at the last all-time highs. So it can drop about 4% down from the bottom side of the parallel channel, and it still be okay. So we are outside of the trend line. You are absolutely correct. Is there a new trend? I guess this trend line is just there to show me what is reality, what is a good bull market trend, and what are we looking for? Where are we overbought in this bull market? Where are we oversold in this bull market? And it gives us a pretty good idea of where we are right now. We're overbought within the bull market, still very bullish. You can be overbought. There's nothing wrong with being overbought, but you don't want to be buying when we're overbought. You want to be buying when we're at more reasonable levels. For example, this 10% crash, you're back in the parallel channel, actually at the heart line of the parallel channel. So yeah, is there a new trend? I guess the trend is just up. There's nothing specific about a new trend. We do have overhead resistance at maybe around 6,000. It keeps climbing the never-ending mountain. I wonder when the pullback will be. Yeah, we don't know. We just need to make sure we are prepared for a pullback. Again, there was always going to be a pullback, but maybe it's not a big pullback. But you need to be prepared for a big pullback. Good evening, and you need to be prepared for 5 years of sideways action as well. We've seen that happen before. There's no reason it wouldn't happen again. Good evening, Lucas Aids. Thanks for the explanation, Vaz. Hey, and Craig is here. Brilliant. Okay, does anyone have... Should we start making this new portfolio and we can start looking at levels? So it looks like we're basically all members here today, 32 people watching. I'd love to get James's opinion. He does trading 212 pies, don't you, James? Am I remembering correctly? Vaz and Craig, I think you'll have good suggestions. Thomas, you just suggested 2 quite good stocks. Would you put them in a stock portfolio? This portfolio I'm looking to be on sort of the higher risk, however not too high risk, where we're looking at companies that are likely to go bankrupt. So if you have suggestions on what should be on this portfolio, we can do that throughout the next few shows.
Can you take a look at Fun, please, Sensei?
You have been a member for 7 months. Of course we can look at Fun. I'm just going to create this new portfolio. New stock.
Vaz has become a member. Same here, Craig. Heart.
Oh. Same here, Craig. Fun. Should Phunware be in the new portfolio? I've created a new portfolio, but let's look at fun. Wow, look at that. Finally, we've got some action on Phunware. Yeah, so I guess it had its sudden move to the downside. Capitulation occurred. Broke the all-time lows. Capitulation. Now it's held the $3.54 and it's hit its first take profit. Well, that happened very, very fast. I don't think we looked at this last week. Well, it's looking good. Well, it's sort of already done the move. We've hit the take profit, which was $4.69. So I'll be very careful now. I don't know what this must have been news driven, as well as charts. So I'm looking at the next buy zone at $4. If this momentum wants to continue and you break out $4.69, then that will be very good news, because the next level is $5, then $6. So you're going up dollar by dollar. So the next level would be $5. If you break $5, then you're going up to $6, and that's if we break $4.49. So we do have a few take profits on the way up. We are at resistance. So Friday was a very green day, so that means the momentum is on your side. However, you are at resistance, so it's a double-edged sword. Momentum's on your side. If it's a green day, then you can continue going up to $5 and then $6, $5.91. But you have taken profit, and when you have hit a take profit zone, and that is a resistance. So if the momentum's not there, then you have to be careful, as you can come back down to $4. So I'd have limit order set up at $4. I would have sold some of my shares at $4.69, and then I would have take profits at $5 and $6. RSI is actually slightly overbought, but that's fine as long as the momentum continues. You can be overbought for a while. You just don't want this to start producing some red days, and if it does, $4 will be the next take profit level. Now you've actually broken out of this range. It's quite good. Even if you come down to $4, the structure is still fine, because you have broken out of this accumulation zone, this sort of low zone here. So what you'd be looking for is only for it to come down to $4, only for it to continue going up. That's the more likely scenario at this point. But it can continue going up, is what I'm saying. So depends on how the momentum is, how much volume there is on Monday, Tuesday. But yeah, you've got your take profits at $5, $6, and if it does come back down, you can have a limit order to buy some more at $4. NVIDIA Sensei, so God knows if I've sold it for a profit on Friday before close, not sure what a good buyback price would be. Yes, brilliant. Let's have a look at NVIDIA. Thank you for the suggestion. Hi Sensei, I have 2 pies in trading 212 near the top of the list. Making a pie is a good idea. Brilliant, James. What are the names of your pies? We can have a look at them. Great Sunday all, listening to Fleet Weekend and Blue Angels Flying Above. Amazing, Zach Zate, welcome to the show. 7 months, says Zach. Says Vaz. Zach Zate, I saw a red arrow coincidentally in the middle of nowhere. 2 arrow formations, the full squadron. It was amazing, the best aircraft experience of my life so far. Wow. And I live near USAF and RAF bases. Vaz, I got some airplane videos coming out on my YouTube channel this week. I'll be looking out, James. Thank you, Sensei. Just on the ground though, Vaz, no flying. Amazing, James. We look forward to your content. So NVIDIA, you sold it on Friday. Interesting. Well, we are above the major level of 130, so it looks like we're going to all-time highs. And you tested support, so yeah, NVIDIA looks like it's going, well, there'll be one more resistance before all-time highs, and that will be this level over here at 136. So you might have a pullback there, which might give you an opportunity to buy back. Yeah, so at 136 we might have a pullback, and you probably can buy back just above $130, 131. So you can grab a trade all the way back to all-time highs, 140. Again, I wouldn't go all in at 130. There are levels below if you break below 130, but if you want to get back in, because we are in sort of a bullish formation right now, you're looking to get a buy at $131, basically $130, and take it back up to $136 and $140 and maybe beyond. If you're looking for more longer term, if you're looking for lower buy zones, if we break $130, you're looking at $125, $116, $100. We won't look any lower for now because we're not in a risk of a major crash right now. But yeah, it's looking good. We've broken out the last level, the last major resistance at $130. When did he say he sold? On Friday before close. Yeah, I would understand if you sold on Monday because that would be at resistance and it did pull back, but we broke through resistance and you sold then. So I wouldn't sell when we break through resistance, or if we've already broken through resistance and you've seen it. But I guess you do have a little bit of resistance, so it can go both ways really. Where's the next buyback zone? Yeah, I think $130 if you want to get in really quickly, or if you want, if you think the stock's going down a bit lower and that's why you've sold, then you're looking at zones maybe closer to the $100 mark, $116, $125. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see where NVIDIA goes. You've broken out of $130. Is it going to break out of its previous high of 136? If it does, then we're looking at all-time highs, and then we can be at price discovery mode. It's an interesting one, NVIDIA, right now. I would be on the sidelines, just waiting to see what would happen on NVIDIA. My pies are called high pay dividend section, and my newer pie is AI pie over 1,000 copiers. I wonder if we can get trading 212 up here. I don't think I've got any money on trading 212, so it should be fine. Let's see. Log in. Identity verification, I'm not doing that now. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Got this. If anyone doesn't have trading 212 in the UK, both get free shares. Earn 1.5% cashback. Pay fast and easy with Apple and Google Play. Oh, there's a trading 212 card. Didn't see that before. And 1.5% cashback. Pay fast and easy with Apple Pay and Google Pay.
Zach donated $5 through a super chat. Let's go Hood.
Hood? Thank you, Zach Z. Is Hood going well? Do you remember last time I looked at Hood? I think it was last week or the week, but it was the week before last. And I said, there's nothing in its way. It's going up, up, up. Let's see if that's happened. I guess so. We're looking at $33 as a take profit. Where were we last time we saw this? Was it last Sunday? I don't think so. I'm not sure, but ever since Hood broke $20, we've been saying, if you look to the left, look at history, when we broke $33, we went all the way back down to $20 very, very quickly in a matter of 19 days. I said it's not going to go up in the same amount of time, but there is no resistance. You can see there's absolutely no resistance here. So then you look to the right, and then you break $20, and there's no resistance to the upside. So we're already 30 days in. Maybe in a couple months we'll be at, or a month we'll be up at $33, because as you can see, no resistance on the way down. We're looking to see if we can go to $33 with no resistance to the upside. There's absolutely, we're in the middle of a trend right now. Yes, it can come back down to $20, of course it can. Would I be buying here? Maybe, I mean, maybe, but you're in the middle of a zone and the momentum's on your side, so you're looking at $33. So maybe I would buy here. Normally in the middle of two trend lines I wouldn't buy, but because there's absolutely no resistance to the resistance on the left hand side, there is a small amount, maybe around where we are right now. But we're looking to get to $33 very quickly. So hood is looking great. Look at the weekly, it's looking great. Last week it was up 14%, so that is good. That would be something I'd like to buy on the new stock list. So maybe I add that to the new stock list. Hood. Give me your suggestions for the new stock list. But Zach, thank you for the super chat, and I'm very happy you're doing well. $33. Maybe $30 would be nice to take some profits, because it's been in a very nice uptrend again. Look at that accumulation zone at the bottom. Something similar happened we keep looking at these accumulation zones, but I remembered Barber had a similar accumulation zone at the bottom, and that broke out finally. I was bringing Trading 212 to your attention. What platform do you use for trading? Sometimes Trading 212. I do much longer term, mid-term trades now. On sort of Robinhood. Used to use plus 500 a lot, but that seems to be not working for me anymore. But yeah, I think I'll get back into Trading 212 once we all build this portfolio together. At least you have 30 hours to figure this out. Bonkzilla, what do you mean? The card is shite. There is a cap on the cashback, so you get about £15 or £20 tops. Not as good as Martyn's Robinhood. Oh, Vaz, thank you for that. Is it really? It looked good, and 1.5% cashback. So that sounds good for a UK card. So what's so bad about it? There's a cap on the cashback. So yeah. Do you see a lot of resistance for NVIDIA at 140? If yes, good idea to sell that back and buy back at 136, 130. Dave, I don't normally do this as you're not a member. We don't. It's not discrimination or of any sort. It's just firstly, we know that members are not bots, and also we have to focus on the members. But because I feel like it, I will answer your question. And we just talked about do you see a lot of resistance at 140? I see all-time high resistance. Doesn't always mean there's a lot of resistance, but there will definitely be people taking their profits at 140. So there is resistance. Is it? I don't know. I can't give you financial advice if it's a good idea or not. But if there's resistance at 140, I would probably take my profits at 140 and I'd look to ladder back in. But if I'm taking my profits at 140, I'd probably want to buy back a bit lower. So I'd be looking to buy back at 130 personally. I normally sell at resistance, and then I have some buy zones. I don't sell all my shares at resistance. I ladder out as well as I ladder in. So I ladder out at 140, sell. Because it's all-time highs, probably a significant amount of my position, because I normally look to take profits at all-time highs. So maybe selling 50% of my position at 140 and then buying back another 20% at maybe 10% at 136 and another 20% at 130, leaving the rest for $100 and lower. But thank you for your question. New stock list, Tilray. Thomas Morrow, Tilray. Would I add Tilray into my new stock list? I probably wouldn't, Thomas. A couple of reasons. One, it's quite risky. Second reason, I need to look at the sort of we've got someone called Midwest Cannabis as well. I need to look at maybe the morality. I mean, everyone's entitled to their own opinions, but I don't know if I'd want to be investing in a. I like the medicinal side of things. Is it good for humanity? I don't know. But yes, I probably won't add that to my new stock list. But thank you, Thomas Moreau. Maybe a couple of years ago I would have. I did buy a lot of Tilray, but I guess I have a change of opinion. But thank you very much for your suggestion. Any other suggestions for the new stock list? Did you already look at PLTR? Yeah, we looked at it last week. We haven't looked at it today. We were saying it's going to all-time highs last week. Where's that now? Yeah, it's a few dollars away from all-time highs. $1.50. James says I use 212 on eToro. Yeah, it's capped. You will be back. You will get back very minimum. Tesla, please. Yes. Tesla will go into the new stock list as well. Even though Elon Musk is, I've been saying it for a few years now, he's a very, very odd chap. Don't agree with a lot of things he says, but I like the company. So we'll add that to the new stock list. That was up. That was down 9%. What did everyone think about the event? Did everyone notice that the robots were just very cool? Come a long way. But did anyone notice that they're just? I think it was being controlled by humans in some sort of back in their factory or somewhere. They weren't actually fully autonomous. The Optimus. So Tesla is down 9%. Coming back to buy zone again. Look, I don't change these levels. Resistance came down. That's why I like to sell at resistance, buy at support. We're coming back to support here around $200. Next level support $180. Then you're looking at $129 and then $58. I'd love to be buying Tesla sub $100 again. We managed to do it. Actually, we haven't. I think, well, what do we buy it at? $126. So that's what I'll be targeting again. I think I'll start buying it maybe at $180. But we are at our first level of support, or we're very close to it now. Again, look, we haven't broken out this trend. Lower high, lower high, lower high, same high, and it looks like we're going down. Are we going to put in a lower low? If we go below 180, then we're putting in a lower low. So we need to keep an eye on Tesla, but right now it's entering some level of support, just off its resistance. Zoom in for you. Resistance at 266, and it fell straight from there. But I've added it to a new stock list. And maybe on the new stock list I should start putting in the levels I'd like to buy. So James, with the pies, from when they first came out, I did have a good go on them. You can't choose exactly at what levels they buy. You just invest weekly and it just splits them in your percentages, because I'd like to create a pie, but I guess I'd like it to buy at specific levels, which I guess won't work with a pie. How do you use your pie? For example, if you see a stock that's come down to a level you'd like to buy, do you just increase the amount you put into that stock? Does it mess up the pie? How do you do it? So yeah, hood. What level would I want to buy it at the pie? I mean, we can change the color for the pie entry. Let's use purple. it comes down to $20, I'll buy it for the pie. Tesla, when would I buy it for the pie? And then I can share this pie with everyone, as in the portfolio, what I'm buying. When would I buy it? 180. Let's change that to purple. This is going to be a very, very long-term portfolio.
Vaz donated £4.99 through a super chat. Thanks for the show, Sensei. A-OK hand, A-OK hand. You make our Sundays complete.
Thank you very much, Vaz. Every single Sunday you're here and supporting the show, so I absolutely love it. Thank you so much for the £5 super chat. Let me know what you want to have a look at and we can have a look at it. Always great support from you, Vaz. Don't invest in pot stocks. Seriously? Interesting. Your name's Midwest Cannabis and you're saying don't invest in cannabis stocks. Tilray is a boring stock, doesn't seem to go anywhere even after earning calls last week. It acts stagnant. Yeah, interesting. I mean, at one point it probably will go somewhere. I mean, isn't it the biggest? Have a quick look at it. We did cover it before the earnings and we said it's going to... Oh, look at that. You hit 150. I mean, if you listened to the show last week, limit order at 150, you would have already made 10%. So it does move, but just it's been stuck in this range low. Interesting. That's why I get limit orders just before the earnings. Someone suggested it last week, and I said 150. Limit order buy. It did actually go lower, 145 it went to. Interesting. But I'll be very careful with this stock. It does kind of look like it might continue going down. PLTR.
Jerry and Elva donated $5 through a super chat. Can you check PLTR?
Thank you very much, Jerry and Elba. We'll look at PLTR. I just want to quickly understand what James is saying. So, Sensei, in the pie, you can buy individual stocks. You can buy individual stocks in the pie at any level. So, because obviously you can buy shares at any price whenever you like, but when you're buying it within the pie, is that what you're saying? I don't know if does it differentiate what's in a pie and what's not in a pie? Anyway, let me continue. You just use the option to custom invest and change the percentage. Use the option to custom invest and change the percentage. Oh, let me see if I can in a pie you can buy individual stock. So in the pie you can buy individual stocks at any level. You can use the option to custom invest and change the percentage. What do you mean change the percentage? So do you just invest, let's say you just want to top up on Tesla and stuff, do you change the percentage of everything else in the pie to 0 and invest 50-50, for example? Is that what you mean? I don't think that's right. The pie just holds stocks together that you're most interested in holding and investing in. Okay. I think I need some more clarification on that. Dividend King is here. Hello, Fight Channel. How are you doing? Yes, James, they're pretty cool. A bit too much like the ones. I like the Tesla bots, but I have a bad feeling when the robots are developed and AI is further developed that they'll bring humans problems like in the Terminator. Yeah, I think Elon even said during the thing it's an 20% chance that it all goes badly. Did he say that? I remember watching it and he said something like that. Yes, James, they're pretty cool, but not the likes. But a bit too much like the film iRobot. Yeah, a little bit scary, but they weren't actually autonomous. There was someone controlling them. I believe 99%. That's I believe 99%. I'm 99% sure that someone was controlling them. PLTR for Jerry and Alba. Palantir. Did you suggest this last week and we said it's just going to continue going up? I think you did, and we're up another 9%. I would be very, very careful now. You're at all-time highs on Palantir. Instead, I would start looking at selling and looking at areas to be up buyback. Yes, it can go above all-time highs, but the risk is starting to build up now, in my opinion. Why have we lost our indicators? RSI. Oh, no, we've got both. Yeah, the RSI is very, very overbought now. You're at all-time highs. Yes, we do have targets of $70, so I wouldn't sell everything, but I assume everyone's made good profit with Palantir now. We're buying it around under $10 every week. We've been saying it's going to go to all-time highs since $34, so enough profit's been made. We don't want to get too greedy. We'll take some profits at $45. Again, not financial advice. I'll take some profits at $45. Look to be buying it back at $33 at some point, and leaving some in the bag in case we do just continue going and the next take profits at $70. But you're basically at all-time highs. There's no difference between $44 and $45. So we're officially, trade is complete. Take profits. We're at that level. We're at resistance. Congratulations, you've made money. The trade is complete. You can tick it off. Now it's just, what do you want to do? Do you want to be greedy? Do you want to just keep holding it? That's fine. I'm always greedy with 20 to 30% of my portfolio. Sometimes it works well. The momentum's with you. That's why I wouldn't sell everything at this point. I'll definitely take profits as we're all-time highs. Previous resistance, it can come down very quickly and you can have a better buy zone. But yes, you should consider this as a trade complete. Congratulations. Maybe look to buy back at $33, maybe take some profits here, next take profits at $70. Shouldn't stress about the stock anymore, shouldn't FOMO. The trade is complete. Congratulations. Thank you very much for the $5 super chat. There's not too much more to say about Palantir. Sensei, when you have picked stocks in the pie and made the pie, when you invest, you click custom invest, and then you can allocate your funds in percentage to any stock in the pie. Oh, so you've made the pie, you can invest weekly or just not invest, and then you can also press custom invest and then allocate funds in a percent to stocks, to any stock or stocks in the pie. You choose how your investment is allocated into the pie, to one stock or all the stocks, by selecting percentage allocation. Okay, so there's the pie, and then you can also custom invest, and then you can choose all the percentages. Amazing, that is very, very useful. That is actually quite good. That's what I was looking for, hopefully being able to do. So would you say that the way I'm thinking will work, and the way I'm thinking is making a portfolio, maybe investing a small amount on a daily basis or weekly basis, and then when specific stocks get to buy zones, I press custom invest, and then I invest at those buy zones. Do you think that will work with the pies? Zach said, I could watch this aircraft, no offense to Sensei, but that's my... What? Why is that offence to me? Zach say, I could watch the aircraft, no offence to Sensei, but that's my inner boy in me. Anytime there's a low-flying aircraft flying above our work, I could always look up or run out to have a look. Why no offence to Sensei? Why? I don't understand. What did I say? I like aircrafts too, probably not as much as you guys. I don't have great knowledge, but there's nothing wrong with liking aircrafts. And just click on custom invest when adding investments to your pie. Thank you, James. I could not keep focused on Sensei, lol. Oh, it's fine, Baz. There's certainly things more interesting than me. Hey, Jerry and Elba, says Greg. Tim Rogers is coming with a $5 super chat just as we're ending the show. You got in just in time. Thank you, Tim Rogers, for the super chat. Sensei, good afternoon. Great show as usual. Can you look at MO? Thank you. Yes. Baz says it's a good suggestion. Is this one to add to the pie? Let's have a look. Can you look at MO? Yes, we can. Thank you for the super chat. Tim Rogers, a regular supporter of the channel. Thank you for your super chat. Wow, 8.19% dividend. Fight channel would love this. 8.19% dividend. What's the market cap? 85 billion. Wow. That's a massive dividend. Should we? James, you have a pie with dividends. Have you looked at MO before? Okay, let's do a full analysis. So last all-time high was around 40. Oh, we don't want purple. What colour were we using before? Why is it so thick as well? $46 was its last all-time highs. You've got some support around 26. Wow, 2008, $5. Then you had your major downtrend. When you have a downtrend like that, it's very easy to say, okay, you break this trend, you're going to go higher. You broke the trend at $30, you went up to $45. But that's past. You then have a Fibonacci from the previous all-time high to that's low over there. Then you can also take a Fibonacci. I'm just doing a full analysis before I give you my thoughts. Fibonacci from there to there. Does anything line up? Got a lot of levels around there. Support there. Profit there. Look at that, exactly at the 1618 you're getting resistance. Amazing. Okay, so we can get rid of the Fibonacci's. You can see from this Fibonacci high to low, exactly at the 1618, the take profit zone, you are getting resistance. So where do I think you're going? You're probably coming down to test. You never tested the previous all-time high, so you're looking to maybe come down to $46, which would be a very nice area to buy some more stock. You're looking at $46, $47 to buy some more, and then you can continue uptrend. The trend is the upside. You were overbought. You are no longer overbought, which is good. You've got a few buy zones. The first one would be 46, major buy zone. Then you've got $43, $40. You can always split buys between all of those levels. If a major crash comes within the market, then leave some money on the side for much lower levels, $34, $26. But looking at it on the more short term, it's not what we're expecting. We're not expecting a major crash. Do you have a trend line to the upside as well? It's been on a nice uptrend. Now it's hit resistance. Now you've hit your take profit. Trade complete. Now you're looking to re-enter. You're looking at $46, $43, $40. Limit orders at all those levels. Again, not financial advice, just where I would be buying. And then you can take profits again at $53. And on the more longer term, you're looking at $61. Take profits for MO. Thank you for your suggestion. It's time to finish up the show. 8% dividends are rubbish. Fight Channel doesn't like 8%. It's too low for Fight Channel. Sensei, make a pie, they're good. You have full control of how you use the pie, plus people can copy the pie to see it too. Yes, thank you, James. I'll look into it. Thank you, Mr. Friday Party. You and the family are a blessing. Thank you, Jerry and Elba. Very, very kind words. We look forward to the return of Martyn. We're halfway through. We'll see him soon. Craig, MO's good. Good old Marlborough. That's what MO is. You sure? Is it MO Marlborough? Maybe that's not the best company for me to invest in. MO company. MO. Oh yes, the manufacture and sales of cigarettes in the United States. Marlboro, there it is. That's what it is. That's why it has a high dividend. Amazing. Thank you for pointing out what it is. Why do they call it Altria Group then? Does it hold other companies then? Thank you for the Mr. Friday Party. Yes, we all do, Jerry. Craig, I'll get a robot one day, but I won't be able to help modify it and the software. I think many people will too, and stop any limitations robots have. Yes, I'll definitely try and get one, but there is a risk, isn't there? Thanks, AZ. I've been a holder for years. Great company with great company with yield and constant dividend growth. Yes, Tim Rogers. Thank you for the suggestion. 8% dividends are rubbish in Fight Channel's opinion. Can the robot carry a person up the stairs? Probably. Fight Channel, do you hold the stock TORM? TORM has a good dividend. TORM. Let's quickly see what the dividend is of TORM. Oh, I can't see. Good dividend, James. WSA, keep your channel up. Yes, James. Please do keep us updated. Yes, James, I'd love to own one. Also be great for the housework and good company. It's when they get highly advanced that it can be hacked and give bad instructions. That's when it'll get risky, yes. Yes, Tobacco Congo Merit. Thank you, Jorin Elba. Much appreciated. I have a few new videos coming out tomorrow and this week. They're looking into alternative markets as well now. Thank you, Vaz. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, James, for all those tips on the pies, and I'll keep you updated on that. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye bye.